or lead you down a different road, one that replicates the inequitable systems, that prides personal wealth over giving those on the margins the opportunity to thrive. You are modeling how to exist in the world. As a child, my favorite place to be during the summer break was huddled underneath my grandmother's sewing machine, peeking out as her customers put in their orders for school uniforms, work uniforms, and choir robes. My grandmother's tiny town of Marks, Mississippi, sat on the edge of the Mississippi Delta. It was the starting point of the 1968 Mule Train, a campaign of poverty awareness and the birthplace of the Blues Highway, Highway 61, a live music blues crawl that follows the route Black people took to Chicago during the Great Migration. Though rich with a beautiful culture and people, Mark lies in the most economically distressed corner of the most economically distressed state, home to one of the highest Black populations in the United States. There was very little in the way of work prospects, which were mostly limited to cotton field labor. So my grandmother decided to become a seamstress to bring in money for herself and her family. Above the humming of the sewing machine, with its rhythmic whir, I heard her greet customers by name. I remember Mr. Hank, a friendly plumber who needed a work uniform, Mrs. Grimes and Mrs. Burnett, teachers sorting out their school year wardrobe, came in for skirts, slacks, and dresses to be taken in or let out. I listened as they caught up on neighborhood news and soothed one another when that news was bad. My grandmother, Bobby Jean to her friends, and Miss Bobby to everyone else, was warm with all of her clients, and also extremely focused and hardworking, priding herself on exemplary work. I watched her foot pump the pedal of the machine and shift the fabric as she guided it precisely under the needle as it moved up and down. I was fascinated by the process, but mostly I stayed near her because I loved her. I felt protected sitting at her feet, surrounded by her brightly colored sewing tools, her yellow tape measure, the red tomato-shaped pin cushion with the colorful pins, her silver thimble. I felt a part of something larger, safe, and welcoming. I watched as her business grew in tandem with her community. I saw how her gifts benefited her customers and how her customers supported her business. My grandmother began creating more complicated patterns as her skills blossomed and her community members' lives unfolded, requiring new outfits to mark new milestones, bridal gowns for weddings and suits and dresses for graduations and special church events. It felt like a tight-knit village, one where folks had each other's back materially, economically, and emotionally. Looking back, I can see that my grandmother and her business planted early seeds in my mind about the power of community and how it intersects with purpose, a calling that uses a person's gifts for the betterment of the village. Within a town where opportunities were limited, she had found a way to embrace her gifts and the talents handed down by her late mother, who also sewed, in order to serve her community and rely on them at the same time. I didn't know it then, but her work would inspire my own entrepreneurial journey, one that would culminate in the Village Market, the company I founded to create economic parity for Black entrepreneurs in Atlanta and beyond. Community as a construct wasn't on my radar until the early 2000s, when I attended the National Black Arts Festival in Atlanta at Underground Atlanta, an outdoor mall and entertainment district that I had been advised was a cultural experience. I made the trip from Mississippi, where I was teaching, to explore graduate school options, and what I saw took my breath away. There were Black painters, Black sculptors, Black designers, all sharing space while simultaneously showcasing the diversity of what it meant to be Black. I'd never seen anything like it. I had enjoyed thriving marketplaces before, browsing the wares, hearing the artisans and customers laughing, connecting to my fellow humans in a way I could never feel in a suburban mall. But suddenly, I was struck by the fact that I had little to no identity in those places.